Youth, there is TEDx VCU, there's a host of them all over Charlottesville, Williamsburg. We got a call from another college about an hour away, a small college would like to do a TEDx, and it's this community of these types of projects. So it was at TEDx Youth several months ago, and I was walking, I did my obligatory, hey, welcome to TEDx Youth, and then I got out of the way for all the genius of the curator and the talks, but I was walking down the back hallway of the school, and a gentleman walked up to me and he said, hi, Andy, I'm Brandon, and I'd like to meet you, and I think I have something to share. And so I love the fact that he had that gumption. I love the fact that he had that gumption. I love the fact that he had that level of clarity around what he would like to share. And he pitched me. And it was a really kind of like, he was pitching. And he was pitching, and it was just an absolute, I want to be there, I have something to say. And I listened, and I kind of processed, and I said, that felt so, Jill and I got in the car, I was like, he pitched me. That was hard, but I loved him. It was that tension. And then you get to know Brandon, and you get to know more of the full Brandon, and you fall in love with this young man. And he's 15 years old, and he goes to Deep Run High School, and he's fascinating. And he has, where you think you're giving mentorship, you're actually being the mentee, right? And backstage about 5 minutes ago, he said, Andy, like, what should I be thinking about right now? How should I think about it? And I said, you know exactly what to do. And he said, be myself and have fun. And I said, yeah, that's it. And when he said it, his eyes looked at mine, and I learned more from that moment than he did. Everybody meet Brandon. He's a special guy.
When I was 2, I was diagnosed with an extremely rare form of dwarfism, metatropic dysplasia. When people see me for the first time, they stare, they laugh, they take pictures. Others are curious. They're attentive when they approach. They want to learn more about me. I'm going to assume that you all fall into that category. I'm 15, the same height as an average 6.5-year-old boy. While the condition is pretty scary, I have a relatively mild form. Those with a severe case may have a spine that grows into the shape of a C, resulting in death from respiratory complications. I have to deal with a lot of symptoms, but a curved spine isn't one of them. Some are really painful, but my life is not in danger. Because of the way my bones grow together and arthritis, it was getting pretty painful to move around. I shared this with my doctor, who said, you need to start thinking about a mobility device, Brandon. Immediately I thought, there is no way you're putting me into a wheelchair or a scooter. I didn't want to have to spend the rest of my life having to constantly look up at people. Well, I mean, more than I have to already. So the need for assistance was obvious, but I was not going for either of those two options. It took about 2 days, and then a light bulb went off in my head. How cool would it be for me to have something like a Segway? When I went to my parents with this idea, my mom said, oh, wow. How much is that gonna cost? And how much is it gonna weigh? A lot. My dad said, you have this idea, so make it happen. If this is what you want, how about you raise the money for it yourself? I was going to make this happen. The only question was, how? I created a Facebook campaign called Help Brad Move. Has anyone ever seen those orange RVA car magnets? They were part of my fundraising efforts too. For a few months, there was interest in who I am, what I was doing, and why. From this, I gained experience with people and social skills, and raised almost $5,000 in the process. That was great, but based on all my research, it wasn't going to be enough. But I was not going to let that discourage me. Just after this, my mom went to a trade show for promotional products. there was this gadget, sort of like this one here, being promoted as a high-end toy for rich people. She took a picture and texted it to me. I was immediately intrigued. Now, to make a long story short, because I only have 4 minutes, this led me down a completely different path than what I originally expected. Instead of not having enough money, I ended up with 2 devices for the money I raised. One that is small and light, and another that comes apart for travel. On this, I can go places that my legs could never carry me. The bottom line is, don't let other people, even a doctor, dictate the experience you're going to have. Take the advice you need. Take the advice you need. Then have the courage to innovate your own solution. I'm 3'8".
Enjoy yourself.
And with this, I'm 4.5 feet tall. You could say it's changed my perspective. Still, it's really hard to deal with other people's views of me. This device that helps me to move around without pain draws a lot of attention. People point, they stare, they make fun of me to my face, behind my back, and through the protection of social media. Isn't it strange? Technology gave me a way to amplify my voice and created a way for me to get around with this amazing device. Technology gives me the opportunity to share my story, but it also allows others to anonymously hurt me while they hide behind a screen. None of us can allow ourselves to be paralyzed by hate in the world. I want this talk to be a catalyst to propel us forward, to use technology for good.
Daniel. Brandon. Nicely done. So I was bragging about you. You overheard me, or you were preparing diligently, but I said you kind of became a little bit of a mentor to me in the last month and a half of thinking about this with you and for you and around you and in support of you. But I would ask you to share with this group of people, what's the most important thing you've learned in your 15 years that you would just give us as a little dose of wisdom?
I would say not to allow yourself to be torn away from what you were born with. Embrace everything that you have and that you were blessed with.
Over to Brandon. Yes, thank you. So the pitch worked. It was a good pitch. And can you just, by the way, stand up? This lovely lady is just the great mom of that great kid. Wait, what? Dad? Where's Dad? Stand up, Dad. So same question to you guys. Same question to you guys. What have you guys learned in the process of having an amazing child like Brandon and all that's come with it and all that you've learned? What would be the thing you'd share with us? And I'll say it for you if it's not loud enough.
Well, at this point, as you see, things coming small packages. So the reality is, Brandon has been blowing stones into his blood, talking in full sentences, if you will. And so don't look at the person. Look inside of them and see if you
So Ann Holton would like to clone this next woman.